I'm in Idaho, do-it-yourself, solo bear hunting. It's May, early May, and this year is my 5th year bear hunting with a bow. I decided to not bait, just to see if I could get it done. I've been inspired by my good friend Jared Lyle, a trophy taker. He's our marketing director, and dude's got it done the last few years, spotting Stalk. He kind of gave me some hints. I'm on an abandoned old logging road, and it's full of grass, as you can see right here. It's just really green, and it's gonna get greener. But this is a particular road that I actually saw a bear feeding for about a half an hour, and we actually made a stalk on it, and my dad tried to kill it with a rifle and he missed. Footage was lousy, but I came here first and I didn't see any bear sign, no bear scat, no bear tracks. So it could be still pretty early, but it is greening up, and I think this is a place we'll come back in a couple weeks and should expect to find lots of bear scat, but for now it's pretty barren.
I started the 2012 bear hunting season knowing that I didn't have much time, but maybe 2 weekends to dedicate to finding a bear. I realized that I didn't want to bait just because I could have a backup plan in the fall. So the first thing I did was go check logging roads.
A lot of green grasses. You can see so one of the things I'm looking for is gated logging roads where they seeded it and it greens up every year. This is a destination location for bears.
After driving over 200 miles on my dirt bike checking roads for a sign, I was pretty discouraged. I hadn't really seen any bear tracks to speak of and only a few piles of scat. On Sunday, I planned on getting back to town. I even told my wife I'd be home by noon. But that morning, my dad convinced me to help him hang some tree stands since the shoulder had not healed from surgery yet. After hanging stands, I convinced myself that it might be a good idea to go check where I found that scat just to see if any more bear scat was there. And when we got up there, my dad immediately spotted a bear.
Rodman just spotted a bear. We were on the four-wheeler. We found about 9 piles of scat, and we knew a bear was in here, but didn't even think about maybe spotting it today, so we're waiting for it to pop back out. If it does, we'll make a stalk and we'll bring you guys with us. Dan, talk to the camera. All right, we got 2 bears together feeding. We're gonna go make our stalk. We got the wind in our face. This is deja vu from last year.
This was the exact same spot from last year that my dad had stalked a bear, and the wind was jetting up the mountain in our face, and I knew that the stalk conditions were right. After we got down close to the road, about 40 yards, I knew that the bears were going to end up right in front of our lap. So rather than jump down on the road, we stayed put kind of at an elevated position. After range finding, I knew that the angle was pretty steep and I was going to have to shave off some yardage.
How many yards should I cut off? It's pretty steep. At the most. That would be right here. Maybe we'll see the other one.
came to full draw knowing that that bear was broadside, but I didn't like the shot angle, so I decided to let down.
There you go. Second one.
The next thing happened real fast. I drew, zeroed in my bow, 40 yards, made a quick shot. After looking at the footage, I realized that my dad had not had it in focus, so it was hard to see what kind of shot we took and what the arrow did.
He's hurt. He's hurt. Just wait. Yeah, you hit him good. You hit him low and back, but he's hurt. Just wait. Just wait.
Immediately coming down to where the bear stood, we found blood.
We got good blood. Here, down that log. We got good blood. Real good blood.
He didn't really, kind of was like, oh.
He was here, dude. I heard it hit bone.
No, there should be an arrow. I think the arrow's somewhere in here, because it went, and I saw the arrow kick out. Couldn't find my arrow in this jungle, but he was acting pretty hurt. Here's some blood right here. That's pretty good blood, so I like to put the pressure on him. So I'm gonna bring you guys with us. Look like the footage was not in focus. My dad's 55 years old. You can't expect him to have it in focus, so it is what it is. What do you think, Schmappy? You gonna get this bear?
Yes. He hopped up over that. He's tough. I think we're gonna get him. I think he's up here a ways, but we'll get him. All right, I'm going around. I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, this is crazy. I'm going around the easy way. Dan had to go over all that other shit. This is tough enough right here.
Off the road, the bear really dove through some nasty brush, and it was quite the challenge to negotiate the tangled mess of downfalls, but eventually we found our bear.
Do-it-yourself Idaho. What is today, May 6th? Like our camo for spot and stalk, we actually were hanging tree stands for my dad. He's got a bear baiting permit, and he's gonna bait him this year, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna spot and stalk one. And I was getting very discouraged, but I was helping him hang some tree stands today, and I was like, you know what? Let me take your dad to a spot where I saw some bear crap, and sure enough, we get up here, my dad spotted him, and so we hiked down a road and came down an old clear cut and just sat right kind of in an ambush spot where these bears were headed. He was with another bear, and he was the bigger one, and I drew back and I couldn't quite get the shot I wanted, so I had to let down, and then they kind of went off the road and the wind started swirling, and my dad said, shoot him now. And he was about 40 yards, and my dad even said 40. So I put my 40-yard pin on him, and I made a pretty good shot. It's just a lot of fun to be shooting your bow in May with broadheads. I'm already sighted in with broadheads, and now I got a huge lull until August, so I'm gonna help my dad with his bear, and there should be some good bear hunting action coming your way.
After a quick recovery and some trophy photos, my dad and I split up. He walked out the creek, and I hiked all the way back to the four-wheeler.
Okay, so this was our bright plan. Dan was gonna hike straight up the mountain, back to the four-wheeler. We rode the bear all the way down to the nearest creek, And I'm supposed to follow the creek out to the road. It's almost dark. You can see it's starting to darken up in here. I've gone about 500 yards down the creek, but the good news is, over there is the road. So all is good.
I am giving you guys an update.
When I got back to my dad, I realized that the only thing I really brought was my bow and my rangefinder. I had left my knives back at the cabin, and I had to get this bear out because we were running out of daylight. He was no help to me because of his shoulder situation, so I was gonna have to put this bear on my back and get at least down to a place where I could put it in the creek.
Carrying Dan's bear out. I hope we don't get shot by somebody thinking a bear is charging him. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
After hiking that bear about 250 yards on my back whole, I then came up with an idea to actually throw the bear in the creek and float him down towards the road. And it actually worked out pretty well. Once we got the bear to the four-wheeler, I was relieved that we could get it down to the cabin where I could skin it out. And this just goes to show, never lose faith. Hunting can change at any second. You can go from not seeing a bear and not thinking that there's any bears in the woods to all of a sudden not in camo and just happen to have your bow with you. Boom, there's a bear, there's a stalk, and it happens, and you're tagged out early May.